Welcome back. As the world celebrates World Hypertension Day, the St. Lucia Diabetes and Hypertension Association says it is aiming to continue raising awareness of this chronic illness and is urging the public to take care of their health. The chairman of the association says it is important that St. Lucians measure their blood pressure accurately and learn how to live with the illness in the right way.
May 17th has been designated as World Hypertension Day. According to the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, hypertension affects more than 30% of the adult population worldwide, more than 1 billion people around the world. It is the main risk factor for cardiovascular diseases, especially coronary heart disease and stroke, but also for chronic kidney disease and heart failure. The burden of hypertension is felt disproportionately in low and medium-income countries, where 2/3 of cases are found, largely due to increased risk factors in those populations in recent decades. What's more is that around half the number of people living with hypertension are unaware of their condition, putting them at risk of avoidable medical complications and death. The chairperson of the St. Lucia Diabetes and Hypertension Association, Ricky LaForce, says the theme for World Hypertension Day 2021, Measure Your Blood Pressure Accurately, Control It, and Live Longer, should be taken a lot more seriously by St. Lucians.
A lot of people, when they get to know, they give up. So we tell them to test accurately and live. Today being World Hypertension Day, we have free testing at our office on 60 Coral Street, today and tomorrow. And on the 27th, we'll have our grand fair, where we'll have different people teach you how to do proper food, your health, all these different things.
LaForce says men too need to take their health seriously and come out to test, as there is always a higher traffic of women and children coming out to measure their blood pressure and to find ways to better deal and live with hypertension.
It's equally balanced, you see. We have a lot of young people who have diabetes and living is difficult for them. The higher traffic is from the females. For us to get males, they have to be serious males, because some of them, when you tell them that I don't care, and males, until they're critical, they don't want to turn to a doctor. So between adults and children is equal.
He says the association is doing all that it can to assist all patients who walk through its doors.
Our president, Mr. Andrew, is a health qualified person in fitness and qualifications, so he is the one who does the health part about it. Mrs. Murphy in our office, who is a foot specialist, because in diabetes, the first thing I start to give problem is your foot. So you can regular testing and good eating, healthy eating. And most important, like I mentioned, Mr. Felix, you can contact Mr. Andrew Felix, our president, for the exercises. You see, because it's a team of things you got to do. And regular testing. People, usually when they test, they say, that ain't true, I don't care. And but that you can live. You can live with diabetes. There are people who live 90-something years and they have been diabetic for almost 60 years. But it's you telling yourself, yes, I want to live. But since COVID came around, we have not been able to go to the community and do our...
Hypertension is often referred to as the silent killer. A healthy lifestyle with a proper balance of food and exercise is often recommended by health practitioners to control and manage high blood pressure. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Sports in St. Lucia suffered a major blow due to COVID-19 as various measures were put in place to curb the spread of the virus. The president of the St. Lucia National Cricket Association says that things are looking a lot better in 2021 than it was in 2020 for local games. While there continues to be a myriad of challenges that need to be worked through, he says 2021 has begun on a high note and there is hope that it continues.
From the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the sporting arena has had to make multiple amends, from having a complete ban on sporting activity to engaging in only some activity but with heavy restrictions. To date, all competitive and high-contact sporting activities, inclusive of indoor and outdoor trainings, local competitions, or social activities are prohibited. In 2020, Dream 11 St. Lucia and the St. Lucia National Cricket Association put together T10 matches that would engage players and be streamed to the public. President of the association, Carol Henry, says planning and executing the games in 2021 proved a lot easier the second time around.
This time around, since we knew the ropes, we knew what needed to be done. The tournament is fully funded by Dream 11, and this year it was even better in terms of the financial package, because last year we were not seeking ready for financial gain per se. We were more keen on just getting cricketers back on the park to play the game. There was so much lamentation about no cricket activity, no sports activity. You would remember how it was, with the lockdown, everybody was sequestered at home, and people were keen to get out. So we were focusing more on getting people out, the players out, and putting them on the park. This year we focus a lot more on the financial aspect, and the title sponsors have come on board with us.
Henry explains that 2 additional teams joined the series this year, and players had an extra incentive to play the games.
Challenges are much fewer, much less this time around. Also, I must mention, because of the improvement, the increased package, we're able to offer a much better prize offering. So our first prize this year is $10,000 AC compared to $3,500 last year, and the second prize is $5,000 compared to, I believe, $2,500 last year.
Many complained that the COVID-19 protocols made it increasingly difficult to stay fit, let alone continue with their livelihoods. He says he is a firm advocate for more emphasis to be placed on cricket as a sport, despite the challenges being presented by the pandemic. He says while the association tries to continue keeping the game alive, both government and individuals need to continue playing their part as well.
So it's all about bringing the game and what is required to succeed through coaching, through life skills, training and whatnot at a very tender and early age. And what you find is that when you do that, the parents are already involved, so you have them on board to help nurture the children at that age from primary school level, and then you expose them to sessions with not just the coaches but other persons who can have an input in terms of their life skills and whatnot. So they will get to see what is happening beyond the St. Lucia horizon in the sub-region and in the outer world, and see how successful they can be.
As of May 17th up until May 30th, the government of St. Lucia has informed that in a bid to curtail the spread of COVID-19, all competitive and high-contact sporting activities, inclusive of indoor and outdoor trainings, local competition, and social activities are prohibited. However, provisions apply for individual or immediate family households to exercise in a safe, open-air space. Gyms are permitted per square footage with protocols, and non-contact sporting activity is allowed if there are no more than 15 persons in attendance, excluding spectators and crowds. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Janique Gonzalez.
The Youth Empowerment Project has launched a program aimed at the holistic development of youth through the arts. The Creative and Expressive Arts for Peace and Development program is guided by the theme Enlighten, Enrich, Empower. Esther Matthew is the arts coordinator.
The bright smiles on the faces of children, and not only children, but the adults, when they say, I have an idea and I want to do this. I want to be a designer. I want to make my own clothes. But it's not only that. They are recognizing the need for newness in the community, and they are already believing that they are the ones who will bring that newness, that enlightenment, that enrichment. And this program presents them with the power, the equipment, the materials, the guidance that they need to present themselves as law-abiding citizens, working citizens, employed citizens, self-employed citizens of our country.
The Creative and Expressive Art for Peace and Development program is a collaboration between the Ministry of Equity and the Ministry of Culture and Creative Industries. The project is being financed by the Caribbean Development Bank. Velda Joseph is the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Equity.
I want to encourage the participants of the program to make full use of the opportunity being presented and to apply the knowledge and skills which you will learn to your daily lives. I ask that you take in all the information, ask questions, be empowered, and become the best version of yourself that you can be.
Albert Ellis spoke on behalf of the CDB and described the program as a critical intervention for St. Lucia.
At the time of the project's development, its objectives were consistent with CDB's strategic objective of supporting inclusive and sustainable growth and development, and designed with the intention of delivering gender equitable outcomes, recognizing that citizen security and wider societal issues have differential impacts on women, men, boys, and girls. The project's objectives are still very relevant to CDB and aligned with the strategic objective of building social resilience as articulated in the bank's new strategic framework 2020 to 2024.
The Youth Empowerment Project has an allocation of US $4,700,000 to implement projects targeted at the development of youth. And do stay with us. The weather comes up after the break.